Hi, family. It has been a while since I've been in front of the camera. In fact, today, as I record this, putting my fancy smancy camera back into use, as I record this, oh, there you are up there. It is Labor Day, so it's September 1st of 2025, and my goal, I had a goal that I was going to upload and make live the episode today that would have me in front of the camera, but that I would be talking about an entirely different topic. And so we'll save that one for another day. So I do want to mention right from the outset that this isn't going to be one of those professionally edited episodes that I do so often, because I do. If you've been with me at all, you know that I don't like being in front of the camera. It's not something I'm comfortable with, but I'm forcing myself to do it and getting a bit more comfortable at it. And so I've done several meditations, very soothing, short meditations. I have created several spoken word in the playlist spoken word. There are many of those and counting. I love doing those. And increasingly, I find myself wanting to do more and more in the voice of our members, those who come to this channel, which brings me to the reason for the topic of the change to this topic. So whether it's ironic or a God thing or whatever label you want to put on it, a couple of days ago, and especially yesterday and into this morning, the channel really started to take off. To the point, I don't know if you can tell how tired I am, because it's catching fire, and as that happens, it'll increasingly do so, and then I won't be able to respond to every comment, which I really like to do. I like to interact. I love the conversation. So I realized this morning that very quickly now that's going to happen. Please know that I look at every comment, or I will as long as I can, and I take them in. And here's the other part of that. So this particular episode, I plan on sharing this link with anyone who comes into our safe space, because that's what Just Medicate Me land is. So for anyone who comes in there, it's happening now, as I knew it would, but I just can't keep repeating myself. And so I'm going to share this link instead of commenting over and over and over again with those who feel the need to be the but people. I understand what you're saying, but you may have some sort of a good point, but, and then of course you have the ones who are just spammers. They have nothing better to do. And to date, I've been saying to them, truly, thank you, because they don't understand that every time someone comments, they raise your link, your channel, in the algorithm, and so they're actually doing you a favor. And so I just find it ironic, and you'll come to know that I guess I have a little bit of a twisted, wry sense of humor when it comes to people who are just either willfully ignorant or purposely troublesome. So it's not that I cannot and don't love good discussion and back and forth, but I'm just not going to tolerate willful ignorance. I never have. And that's something I should share, is that I don't come into, even though I'm new to YouTube land, I don't come into this as a newbie. I have been admin for several social media groups, running into the thousands of mostly women. And I've done that for many, many years and taken that position very seriously. I began them for advocacy reasons, entirely unrelated, and grew each of those social media pages to where some of them reach 500,000, 1 million people a month. And so I come into this with experience, right? Just not, I've had to spend, you don't know how long. Anybody that knows me really well knows that when I dive into something new, I've learned everything about it. And so I did that for months and months before I actually launched the channel. Did it way too long, as others will tell you. So because the channel is now getting to the point where it is going to just go crazy and on fire, and I won't be able to respond to every comment, and I have a need, it is an absolute requirement to keep this space safe, as I did in those other social media groups. It sometimes requires a lot of time, and if ever you see something that I've missed, feel free to share it with me, because I don't want those people there. I mean, I just don't. I have no interest in that kind of a personality. I'm in the last chapter of my life. I've said to my friends, I feel like it's just not going to be a long one. I don't know why, but I just feel that way. And so I only have so much time to spend with people. And I want those people to have my back as I have theirs. I want unconditional love. I want peace and serenity. So this channel is not, and this is for the deflectors and the yabbats and the kids who were abused and yada, yada, yada. This channel is not for mothers who want to come in and have never taken any accountability for anything. They are narcissistic. I'll just say all the labels for you so you don't have to keep sharing them, because I've heard them for like what seems like centuries, but I guess it's been a couple of decades. Toxic, narcissistic, I don't know. There's all kinds of labels. And of course, the estrangement movement, which we called alienation way back when in the old days of 2008 or 9, whatever. Estrangement, alienation, ghosting, and no contact. Those are the 4 labels that I've seen used over and over and over again. As time has gone by, they just change, evolve. Different kids use different ones. Anytime there is a detractor, a hater, whatever you want to put on, label on that person who comes in to cause trouble on the episode, he or she will get one warning. I give warnings. I like to give people chances. I've asked for chances. And so I give people one warning. And if they don't heed that warning, and I always try to be really nice about it, I do. I mean, and I can be really harsh. Just ask my friends. If they don't heed it, then I block them. I mean, I want this needs to be a safe place for mostly mothers, dads. I know you're out there. I do. You just have to understand when I speak or when the voices speak. And I would welcome any of you dads to make your own comments on these episodes. I've taken a few of them now, and I'm creating episodes out of your voices. And so, I welcome your voices. The focus has to be, in order for me to get the message to the most people, to make it the most powerful and the most undiluted. Can you tell I've been in marketing and sales all my life? To do that, I need to focus on the niche, which is women who are in their, 50s all the way up, who have been alienated, estranged. This is the market for alienation. That's not the only thing I'm doing on this channel. It is what I have been focusing on in order to launch the channel, but I do have other playlists and I will be sharing. I'm actually pretty funny, you guys. I was one of the first naughty party ladies on the planet and I was really good at it. I made some really like loose notes that I wanted to make sure I shared with you. And let me just make sure I cover everything. I am going to cut and paste some of the responses. I'll be using those under the post section of YouTube and also to like Instagram and Threads, which I didn't know anything about. I wasn't even on until I started doing this. Like, mother of God, there's so much. The idea is to get your voices out there. And I will tell you, I'm not good at all with voices that want to blame and that want to hate and that want to focus on the behavior of their children. Let me just see if I can get that correct. Let me just focus on what I want, what we need, okay? If I had my way after all these years and all the roller coaster ride that I've been on with my daughter, after what we went through with her brother's death and all that came with it. If I had my way, I would be reunited with my daughter. That should just be said from the outset. Of course I would. Now, there are some channels and some parents who don't feel that way, and I honor their journey. It's just not mine. So it's important to know that, because I'm not going to tolerate, nor do I care for, nor do we want anyone coming in just for the purposes of screaming and yelling. I already had one lady, mother of God, she wrote all in caps, and I tried to be diplomatic and she didn't take it well, and too effing bad. Oh, sorry, did I say that out loud? So I absolutely will insist on a safe space, and I will do everything in my power to keep it that way. And you need to help me. I mean, it seems to me like it's like growing like a wildfire. So I need your freaking help, you guys. So the culture of just medicate me is we speak in the language of love. Does that mean we can't lament and cry and share our grief? No, that's what the channel's for. But we speak from the I perspective. This is how I'm feeling. This is what this has done to me. This is, or if you want to talk about your grandchildren, I have, memories that I share. I think in one of my playlists, I shared some pretty funny ones of my oldest living granddaughter. It's just important that everyone understand this is not a channel to scream victimhood. This is not for that. If you want to be able to do that, you need to go elsewhere. And there are plenty of places in YouTube land that do that. I've been doing major research, and yeah, they're out there if you want them. I'm not it. And that's the thing is, I don't, you should know my intent is to monetize this channel. Okay, and let me explain that. I don't ever intend on making $1 gazillion. That's not what's going on. I have been doing, as a side gig since retiring, eBay. I've been doing a part-time income. I started out downsizing. I realized I could make pretty good money at it and do it from my home. And as long as I was consistent, it's not, you don't go in there thinking, oh, I'm just going to make money. You have to work at it, right? I changed gears. I wanted to launch this YouTube channel because I'm getting older. It's hard to go out there and do all the sourcing all the time, and then the pictures and the listing and the shipping, and you know what I mean? So if I can sit in front of this camera and speak with you and have conversations with you, and at some point get to the point where I don't have to do eBay anymore and I can do all my focus on this, then yeah, that's my goal. So I don't expect to get rich or anything, but it would be cool if I could travel a few different places and share that with you. I love to travel. I just haven't been able to do much of it at all. So anyway, so I just want you to know from the outset, that's what I'm going to insist on. That's a requirement. Nobody gets to scream or holler or yell at other people. It's just not going to happen here. You will come to know where I stand politically. Yeah, if you don't already, you will come to know that. And just know, first of all, I am not a screaming Democrat. If you think that about me, you're wrong. I long ago considered myself an independent, always, right? And it has only been since the rise of this regime in which the patriarchy has suppressed women. Can you tell how carefully I'm choosing my words? That I have risen up as a soldier. I've always been an advocate, but for women and children, I come from a highly abusive background. I mean, highly abusive. It'll come out as the channel goes on if I live long enough, right? So it's not about party. It was never about party for me. This is about the man, period. The man. And now all the people with him who are just like him, who took advantage of the power that he got them. That is what it's about. Alienation, estrangement has been number one priority. Yes. I wanted to make sure I shared with you that while alienation, estrangement has been the number one priority, it will not stay that way. I mean, I'm always going to talk about it in some form or fashion. It would be awesome if someday my daughter and I reunited and we could talk about it together. That'd be way cool. But I will go into other areas. I mean, I need to go into other areas. I want to have some fun. You should see, like, a couple of you have commented on my Sassy Girl flower pots, but I do other stuff. Like, you see this window behind me? That's my resin art. I've done several windows. I just completed one for a friend for her birthday, Colleen. Beautiful. It's got butterflies on it. The piece is called Rise. She loved it. It was awesome. Like I said, I was a really good naughty party lady. You can ask anybody that was at my parties, and I got tons of stories to share with you there. And I'd like to share some stories and memories about my grandkids and daughter. And so I'd like to share some good stuff, because if this does work, and then because YouTube has gone crazy, it's only like 20 years old or whatever, but it's just gone nuts. So if this does work, then it means that it'll likely be around long after I'm gone. And so it would be a really cool legacy to leave, right? I would encourage every single one of you to do this. And I know how silly that sounds, every single one. But what I mean by that is, first of all, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. I mean, you got to learn how to do stuff, but I'll see at some point if I can make it, easy to figure out 1, 2, 3. My growth has accelerated. I cannot tell you how freeing this has been for me. I did not expect this. And I've only been doing it now 8 months. 8 months. Holy mother of wow. Yeah, I would definitely, it's amazing. My spiritual growth has gone through the roof. And my level of acceptance, my ability to accept. It still hurts, don't get me wrong. This is Labor Day weekend. Family weekend. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, it still hurts. I want other conversations, and I promise you this will remain a safe space. Yes, it matters to me that we are able to speak freely and converse freely, and we are safe in doing so. So I figure if I do this episode and I let all the but people know that, look, we're not talking about you. We're not talking about you having been abused as a child and your mother has never done or said anything to make it right by you or done any living amends. Or we're not talking about kids who have had to walk away for their own mental health and have done so in a way that has been detaching with love. That's the lesson here. Detaching with love and not taking grandchildren, taking their heritage and their history, not snatching it away from them just because you're angry with a parent or need to pull away from them. One woman said it was just the most amazing thing I'd ever heard a mother say. Her mother had not been a good mother to her, but she was an amazing grandmother, and she allowed space for her mother to be that. I just thought that really defines unconditional love, doesn't it? For your children, if nothing else. It looks like there's one more. Highly recommend you using your own voice. So if you feel that at this point that you never could dream you could do a YouTube channel, I would think about it. I mean, if nothing else, to leave a legacy, I would make a pledge. If you're going to pursue a YouTube channel with the intent of leaving a legacy for your children and or grandchildren and or whoever it is in your life, I would make a pledge that you will do your level best to make it one where you speak the language of love. And that is not easy to do. In some episodes, I have not done it completely because I'm human and I'm hurting, and I've been, what it feels like for parents like myself is that we've been locked away in a pen and thrown food on occasion and been kicked repeatedly and been so horrifically abused that we are afraid of making a wrong move, saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing. We don't know if we're supposed to reach out, if we're not. I finally stopped. I drove myself mad, reaching out, trying. If you just started this journey, you won't listen to this. You'll think you're different, and I understand. Anyway, this went on a lot longer than I thought it was going to. I'm not going to do a lot of editing for this episode. I'm going to leave it like pretty raw. I think I'll add some music. That always makes it easier to listen to, right? By the way, I'd love your feedback. This is the first time you're seeing my new YouTube studio. So I spent the summer off and on arranging, because also back here in what was my master bedroom, which I desperately miss, also is my art studio where I do my windows and my acrylic, and then also my eBay, right? So I've got my eBay inventory, and then I've also got my eBay shooting station. Sometime I'll walk around the house just so you can see. It seems really funny to me, you guys, but it seems like everybody's interested in that kind of stuff, right? So let me know what you want to see and talk about, and I'll see what I can do. Hey, thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. Where the hell is my remote?